Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we are actually doing an Etsy shop critique. And this is one of the many critiques that I be doing for free for the entire year. So if you are interested in getting a critique of your Etsy store and you're struggling with sales or maybe you're struggling with SEO, make sure that you sign up today. I will leave the link below the video as well as in the comments section. Now, also, if this is your first time visiting my YouTube channel and you want to learn how to grow an impactful online business, don't forget to subscribe today. Don't forget to show me some love by liking this video and leaving a comment below. So I'm going to head over to my computer to start the critique. I'll see you there. So here is the lucky winner of our Etsy shop critique. Her name is Julie. Thank you for allowing me to do a critique of your store. Guys, we're trying to create a sense of community where we all come together, we help each other grow. So if you have any useful tips for Julie or constructive feedback, please leave it right below in the comment sections. And don't forget that whoever leaves a really great comment, I will be giving you a shout out on my next video. So make sure that you leave a constructive feedback along with your store name as well. So let's go ahead and dive in on this critique. So for those of you that is your first time watching, what I normally do on a critique, I take a particular listing and I talk about product photography, I talk about title, listing description, on-page SEO factors, off-page SEO factor, the curation of your store, branding, and much more. Now, the things that I'm going to be talking about today are best practices from Etsy. This is what Etsy wants, not necessarily what we want, right? I know for me, majority of my tags, I have like keyword stuffing that I used to do before, and I'm still in the process of changing my own particular listings because Etsy now wants to be compliant with Google, and there's certain rules that they don't want us to, certain things that they want us to follow as store owners. Majority of the changes that does make sense, and I think it is for the better. It's just a matter of doing it, and it does take time. I have my bigger store that I have over 10,000 listings, and that one is taking me forever for some reason. But since that's the one that I make the most money on, that's the one that I put my main focus on. And then once I finish that one, then I'm going to trickle down to the other stores to fix them. So keep in mind that anything I talk about in my videos, I usually refer to whatever Etsy wants. Some of it is my opinion based on me being a digital marketer for 11 years, but at the end of the day, it's what Etsy wants and not other people's opinions. So I try to focus on that. So let's go ahead and dive in. The listing that I'm actually doing a critique on today is this one right here. So the first thing I always talk about is product photography, and product photography is really important when you sell on an e-commerce site like Etsy, or whether you sell on your blog, whether you have your own website, maybe you sell on Shopify or somewhere else. It really doesn't matter as long when you sell online, your product photography has to be amazing. A bad photo will prevent you a sale. It's just that simple. In 2018, Etsy surveyed their buyers, and 90% of them said the reason they purchased from a store was strictly because of the photo. It wasn't the pricing, the shipping, the reviews, the listing description, or anything else. It was strictly because of the photo. So that shows you the power of product presentation. When you show a product online, it has to be amazing. It has to make two types of people buy. The person that's actually looking for your product and the person that just stumble on your product, right? They're just browsing, but they fell in love with it and they just want to buy it. Even if they don't necessarily want to, or maybe they weren't buying with an intention to buy, right? They weren't shopping with an intention to buy. Essentially, that's what you want. You want those two people, the people that are buying with an intent to buy from you, and the people that were just browsing to fall in love with your products and want to purchase from you. So how do you make them fall in love with your products? Is having amazing photos, having a photo that when people look at it, they know exactly what they're getting. There's no confusion. They look at it at first glance and they know, okay, this is a bookmark. Do I want it or not, right? When I look at this photo, Julie, it does seem a little bit complicated because you have this massive background. The background is taking the focus out of the actual bookmark. So backgrounds could be a distractions if you don't know how to use the right background to showcase your product. So these backgrounds are not really helping you that much. Um, it looks like from far away, this one here, it looks like it could be a painting or some sort of like wall art or something. It doesn't seem to me as a bookmark unless I read here or I click on the photo. Then I could say, oh, okay, this is an actual bookmark. But even then, right, this is a better picture because you're holding the actual bookmark. But having all these busy backgrounds, it just distracts what you're selling. It's not really helping you. Sometimes less is best. When you put too much in the background, it just makes your stuff out of focus. So like you see how here you just have the bookmarks is more simple, even though you still have the busy background, but you could barely see it. This looks way nicer. And you can see the quality of your work a lot better. It's beautiful. But here it gets lost with all of this in the background. Also making sure that your photos, when people look at it at first glance, are they going to be confused or are they going to know that this is a bookmark after looking at it a couple seconds? Keep in mind, when people are shopping, you only have a few seconds to grab someone's attention. This is your competitor. This is your competitor. These are all your competitors. So when they're searching in the feed, if it doesn't grab their attention, they're going to keep going. And you don't want that. You want them to be like, oh, this is beautiful. Let me click and learn more. You want them to engage with your brand. And the way that they engage with your brand is having amazing photos that's going to captivate and compel them enough to click to kind of shop in your store and look around. So I would definitely look up pictures or mock-ups of bookmarks. You could go to Etsy and kind of see how other people are doing it to get some inspiration. I'm not saying you have to copy anyone, but to get inspired, to see what's working, to see what's working for other people. And it just takes time also to build your style. Because I know for me personally, even now working on my brand, I'm constantly changing. I do this photo, I think it looks great. A week later, I'm like, oh, it could look better. I do it again. And then a week later, I'm like, oh, it doesn't look as good as I want it. And it's all about keep working on it until you find that style of photo that you like, and then kind of having that cohesive for all of your other listings. And that takes time, trust me, because I'm still working on that on my own store. Because it's been a lot harder for me. The wedding store has been a lot easier because I have a lot of wedding pictures and stuff like that. But for my marketing store, it has been a lot harder because I'm really trying to put like certain colors and don't deviate from those colors. And it takes time to build. That's what I'm trying to say. So don't feel bad. Great start. Great job for putting a lot of photos. That's another plus for you. The issue with your photos is just the background. It doesn't really illustrate your product the best way. It's too much dizziness. It's taken away from your product. This is a beautiful image here. When you create stuff, you want to make sure that when you look at your photos, does it look the best it can be, right? You have to start paying attention to stuff like that. And it will take time because, 6 months from now, you might look at this photo and say, oh, I could fix it. I could do it better. And that's just how it's going to be with everything you do for your business. You're going to be always changing. When you stop changing stuff and you stop trying to make it better, that's when you don't succeed because you almost got complacent or you're giving up. But when you start changing all the time, you're growing. Your skills are getting better. Your creative side is getting better. So now you're trying to create more nicer pictures, better, and you start fixing it. And product photography and the way you present your products are so important. Because somebody might look at this in this image and be like, okay. And they might see it in another image. Maybe you have the bookmark with a book open. You have the bookmark right in the middle, and they might see it that way and fall in love with it. That's what I'm trying to say. So product presentation is really important, especially because that's what the first impressions. So I will work on this. I will go to Etsy, maybe look for bookmarks, just to kind of get ideas, right? And do a quick of a search and just get an idea. So how are people doing it? Something like this works better, in my opinion. Just a simple book with a bookmark in the middle. Take a couple pictures, see what you come up with. This one's nice because it has like a wood background. It's very simple. Simple sometimes is best. Something like this, it has the bookmark and it has the books in the background. That's kind of cute. Even something like this simple, showing it while holding it with a book in the background. That's cute. So just thinking, okay, what can I do? Can I do it can I take the picture in front of a bookshelf with books and see how that turns out, right? It could be dizzy as well. It could be a bad photo, but just experimenting until you find something that actually works for you. But I would definitely redo the photos, unfortunately, especially the beginning ones, because the back is taking the focus out of it. In addition to that, you said you would push your come with an address and my colorful color. That's pretty. I like that comes included. What I would do if I were you, I would include, and good job for showing the back side of it. What I would do is make sure that one, you have an email list. Start collecting emails. It's really important to put something for email. I'm going to show you mine's real quick to kind of give you an idea. And this is something that you could start doing on yours. And this is something that I do on my bigger stores that I'm implementing on my this small one as well. But having a email and telling people, join my email list. So having your offer, whether it's a discount, whether it's a lead offer like this, a lead magnet, or whether you just want to collect emails from people to grow, your business, and telling them, don't forget to sign up for my email to stay updated with the newest products and services. But having an email like this, a picture like this that has the link for them to join, that has whatever you're offering, and a quick short of what they're getting. So this is something that's really important. It's going to help you grow your email list. Is really important as a business owner to have that, because you could remarket to these people. So having the email list, you could email them telling them about your products and services. Two, you could remarket them using Facebook ads and Instagram. So you could take your email list and tell Facebook, these are the people that already engaged with my brand. I have a sale going on for the weekend, for 4th of July, let's say. It's 50% off. I want you to show my ads to these people because they already show some interest in my store. And then they show the ads to those people, and most likely they'll click to buy from you because they already know who you are, or they're at least engaged with your brand already. So you know that they like your products and services. So it's really important that you start collecting an email right now, even if you are in the beginning of building your store. It's going to help you grow your store, and it's going to help you scale your business. Is one of the key elements that you need as a business owner. And you will put the photo just like I did right here. And then you will put that link everywhere and anywhere in your store. So you will put it in your shop announcement. You will put it in your About Me story. You will put it in your listing description. You will put it outside of Etsy, like your social media. Every time you email someone, you could put it on the bottom, like, don't forget to join our email list. Just promote the heck out of it so you could start growing your email list. If you only put it on Etsy only, it's not enough. You have to spread it around. And the more you use other platforms and you collectively use them all together, this is what I teach in the course. The more you use Instagram, Facebook groups, you have Pinterest, you have this, and you collectively use everything together, it helps you grow your brand. And that's going to be the quickest way to grow also your email list. So I will have the picture of the email list. I will have a picture telling people, hey, don't forget to favorite our listing, or don't forget to favorite our store. That way, every time we have a new update or a new sale, you'll be the first one notified. That's free advertising. When you add something to your store, or when you put like a sale, if you have whatever amount of people favor your store before, so right now you have 42 people that favor your store, 42 people get a notification. That's free marketing. So all the strategies that I'm talking about today, having great photos, having an email list, having people that favor your store, all of these strategies, when you combine them and you start implementing on your store and you start leveraging social media and branding, when you do all of this collectively together, it helps you grow and build that momentum. But you have to start doing it, right? You have to start promoting it. I don't see it in your store at the current moment. You have to start doing it. It's really crucial for you. So those will be my suggestions for your photo. One, have a photo that's very clear. People know exactly what they're getting, and you have the best photo as possible. 2, making sure you have your email list. 3, making sure that you have something telling people, don't forget to favorite our store. Forget about, oh, follow me on Instagram or that doesn't matter. You could always ask them later. Once you have their email, you could always send them an email separate saying, welcome to, Nothing Short of Joy. Here's our Instagram, here's our Facebook, let's connect. Then you could ask them that. But don't waste the opportunity here with a photo. It's better spent if you ask them for their email, or it's better spent if you ask them to favorite your store, because at least that will give you that repeat customer again, hopefully. So keep that in mind. The next thing I want to talk about is your title. So Etsy wants you to write a smaller title. Make sure your focus keyword, which is your main keyword, is in the beginning of the title. That is for SEO purposes. Whatever you put in the beginning of your title will be the name of your listing as well. And that means that that's the main keyword you want to rank for. That's what you're telling Etsy search feed. That's what you're telling the algorithm. That's what you're telling Google algorithm, that's what you sell, and that's the main keyword. That if anybody types in watercolor bookmark, that's what you want to rank for. So any additional keywords, you could add them, right? But you want to make sure that it reads into a sentence. And it's okay to add as many keywords as possible, as long as it's like organic. It doesn't look like you're putting a whole bunch of keywords, because even though it's optimized for SEO, it's not optimized for user friendliness. And that's why Etsy doesn't want it with keyword stuffing. They don't mind you adding additional keywords so you could rank for it. It's just, does it sound organic? Does it sound like it kind of flows? Or does it sound like you have watercolor bookmark, do-it-yourself bookmark, printable bookmark? Does it sound that way? That it's just like a whole bunch of keywords. So you necessarily don't want it that way. And you have, I don't think yours sounds like it's stuffed, to be quite honest, because you have water bookmark, custom bookmark, condolences, death, and grief mourning be the things. I don't think it's bad, to be quite honest. Is it a little bit too long? Most likely, because it does get truncated in the search results. And this is what people see in the search results right now. It says watercolor bookmark, custom, and then it gets cut off. So this is what people see in the search results. When they click, then they'll be able to read the rest. It doesn't sound too bad, to be quite honest. I wouldn't necessarily change it. But what I would do is make sure that whatever keyword you pick is the best keyword, for sure. Now, your listing description, we'll talk about what you have in here in a few minutes. But what you want to make sure that you do is that the first 155 character, 155 is considered your meta description. And that's a off-page SEO factor. That's how when somebody types in, let's say, watercolor bookmark on Google, that they're going to take a snippet of the first 155 characters, and that's what they see on Google. So this is your snippet here. Handmade watercolor bookmark. And it has like the first 155, and then says, be the things you love most about the people who are gone, and then it gets cut off after book and then MAR. So you want to work on that. I'll show you an example of mines. I've been working on mines as well on this store, but this is like the least store that I need to fix the main store that I make the most money on. But to kind of give you an idea, this is my book. This is my 155 characters. It says, looking for a way to stay organized, get this instant download, daily task lists. That's my main keyword. You see, daily task list. So I have it right there. Printable to help you get organized with your to-do list. Get it today. Oh no, I guess I'm supposed to have it. Okay, I'll leave it there. So this is a snippet right here. You could see a snippet. Let me see if I could zoom in. Okay, I guess that's the best I could do. This is a snippet of what people see in Google. Daily task list. And then it says, looking for a way to get organized, get this instant download, daily task list, printable to help you get organized with your to-do list. Get it today. So I have a call to action. I'm telling the customer what to do, what type of action I want them to do. And then I have a short description, and then I have the main keyword. That's what you want. You don't want it to get cut off and it doesn't make any sense. This is what people see in Google. So you want to make sure that your meta description is easy to read, and people know exactly what they're getting, and then you're telling them, don't forget to click. Like you're giving them a call to action. So a call to actions are really important when you sell on an e-commerce platform, because essentially you're telling them what type of action you want them to do. So when you tell them click to learn more, is basically you telling them what to do next. And essentially that's what you want. You want to tell your readers what type of action you want them to do. And it's really important to do so. It's really important to use call to actions. So I will work on this, making sure that it's more of a compelling meta description. That way when people see it online, they're more compelled to click. Make sure that you use the Google preview so you don't forget to preview it before you click enter. So I will work on that. It is a little bit long, to be quite honest. What I would do also is break it down into paragraphs so it could be easier to read. So add some breaks in here. Addition to that, you want to make sure that your listing description includes everything and anything the customer should know about this particular order. So break it down, like dummy it down. That's what I always tell everybody. So how to order, the shipping policy, how long do they get it, right? Are there any refunds and returns? If it's a digital download, then there's no refunds, right? So making sure that you dummy this down, and you just talk about everything the customer needs to know about this listing. Having backlinks are really important, because essentially when someone is engaging with your listing, they'll click on the listing. They could click here to read this. And what you want them to do is click on the backlink. You don't want them to keep going down and now they go to your competitor, right? That's a disadvantage. One of the disadvantages of doing Etsy, right? Etsy is amazing, but I don't like the fact that they put your competitors down here. So if somebody goes too far down, nowadays people might be like, oh, this is so cute, click, and then leave your store. So having backlinks will help you increase your click-through rate, help you get more engagement, and hopefully they stay longer in your store, longer they buy. I do feel like you have too many though. So what I would focus is having one backlink that goes to your homepage and one backlink that goes to a similar product or maybe an opposite product. But having two is sufficient. Having this many, it confuses people. You don't want to give people too many options because then they get very overwhelmed and they won't know where to click. So I would just add one for your homepage, which is this one here, and I will add one for your product and services, but I will add these at the bottom. You don't want for them to read this, go down here to finish reading this, and then keep going. You want them to read everything they need to know about the listing, and then finally says, thanks for visiting, Julie. Make sure you check out our homepage here. Make sure you check out our similar products here, or matching products here. That's what you want. You don't want to put it all the way on the top either. And you want to make this as user-friendly as possible. The easier, the more instructions you give, the least conversations you'll get, the least upset customers you'll get, the less messages you'll get about random questions that they should know, but people don't know, right? It's their first time shopping. There's a lot of people that they've never heard of Etsy before, even though you and I have. So you have to think about it that way. What's the easiest way that I can inform the customer about everything and anything they need to know about this particular listing, and make it as user-friendly as possible? Another thing you want to make sure that you do is whatever keywords you're using. So you have watercolor. Oops, I put watercolor. Well, we know that one is in there. Whatever keywords you're using down here, right? You want to optimize them in your listing. So you do have book club there, which is great. And let's see, bookmarks. Let's see. You do have them there. You have them quite a bit in your listings. So you did a good job with optimizing your listing for SEO, which is really good, because I've seen so many stores that even though I told them, they still have not done it. So you're doing a good job. You didn't optimize all of them, but you have some in there at least, which is good. The reason why you want to optimize your listing, that one you don't have optimized. These two you don't have optimized. I'm going to try one more. Grief gift is because anytime somebody types in these keywords on the search engine, Etsy will take notice that you have them in your listing. So the more contents that you add, or the more keywords that you add to your listing description, the more the algorithm understands what your page is about. And that's how the algorithm works. It works by keyword search, right? So when people type in these keywords, you will rank for them, and then you will drive additional traffic to your services. So that's why you want to make sure that you're optimizing it. So you did a couple of them, you didn't do all of them. Try to do as many as possible. I know it could be a little bit tedious and a little bit hard to do it. It might take you a little bit longer to do every listing because of it. But in the long run, is the best thing to do for SEO. So let's go ahead and look at your listing really quick, because I want to talk about your keywords. So here's your listing. So let's click on it really quick to look at it. I think I had it open already. I don't know what happened. Let's see. Oh, I have it here. Okay, so here we are. So here are all the keywords that you currently have. And so a couple things you have to think about. When you're doing keyword research, the first thing you need to do is do keyword brainstorming, which means that you will sit down and you will say, okay, what are 10 to 15 keywords that accurately describes what I sell? When my customer is looking for a bookmark that is about grieving, how would they search for that? So maybe bookmark for loss. That might be a good one, right? So you come up with keywords and you write them down. Doesn't matter what you come up with. Just write down the first thing that you think somebody would do, a search on Etsy that describes exactly what you sell, right? Exactly what you sell. You don't want to say condolences card, because you're not selling a card, right? You don't want to say grief gift, even though it's kind of related. It's not really targeting your ideal customer that's looking for a bookmark about that, right? Not necessarily a gift. Spiritual quotes. I mean, yes, you have a spiritual quote, but it's very broad, and you got to be careful with keywords that are broad. They get you a lot of views, a lot of impressions, maybe a couple sales, maybe a couple favorites, but then it keeps you wondering why I can't sell more. It hurts you in so many ways. One, it hurts your conversion rate. When you use keywords that don't specifically target your ideal customer and doesn't accurately describe what you sell, is very broad or very competitive, two things happen. One, your products get shown to a lot of people, but no one's buying, and your conversion rate drops. So therefore, Google says, okay, this is not a bestseller, obviously. Let's go ahead and bury it in the search results because no one's buying. The second thing that happens is if you use a keyword that's very competitive, even if it's a good keyword for your product, two things happen. One, you can't rank organically. So if you don't want to do Etsy ads or any type of ad because you don't want to spend more money on that, or you don't have the budget to spend, most likely you're not going to rank organically. You're not going to get found. Secondly, because that keyword is very competitive, your cost per click is going to be very, very high. So therefore, if you do run ads and you say, okay, I'm going to do a budget of $2 a day, after 4 clicks, your budget is done. Because sometimes keywords could range, it just depends on the keyword, but they could be $1 per click. It could be 60 cents per click. And keep this in mind. This has nothing to do with Etsy. This is just how it works. When you do advertising on Facebook, when you do advertising on Instagram, on Pinterest, on Google AdWords, when you compete for keywords that are very competitive, your cost per click is always going to be higher. It's just that simple. And that's for any market you go into. Doesn't matter if you're doing Amazon or you're doing something else. So let's look at book lover gift, because that one has a really high competition. It has over 50,000. So I'm using eRank Pro for those of you that are looking at this and looks different from your dashboard. It is about, I don't know, I signed up a while ago and I have it auto pay, but it's about $10 a month. It is worth it for your business to invest in tools that give you more data Don't skip out on tools like for SEO versus, we all have like Netflix in our phone. Like, this is really important. This is really going to help you with your business. So $10 a month to pay something as low as $10 to help you find additional keywords that you could rank for and to grow your business is a low investment cost, to be quite honest. So looking at it here, Book Lover Gift has 71,000 listings. So it's very high. If it's past 30,000, I don't even use them anymore. That's kind of like my thing. For my wedding store, what I normally do is has to have a search volume of 500 and up with a competition of 30,000 or less. That way, one, I know my cost per click is not going to be crazy. Two, I could potentially rank organically for the times that I don't want to run ads. Like right now, I'm not running ads because wedding season is been out for me. It's been the worst year for me due to the fact because of the pandemic, and I understand that. And I'm not making as much as I normally do. And because of that, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to slow down on the ads because right now not too many people are buying. So besides like just random stuff where they're getting ready for like next year. So hopefully next year will pick up again. But you got to keep that in mind. I think about it like, okay, if I don't run ads, I could rank organically for this keyword. On top of that, you have to look at the competition here. Look at the cost per click here, 60 cents per click. That's pretty big, 60 cents per click. If your budget is $1 per day, after one click, you're done with this keyword. They're not going to show this listing again because, 60 cents, you don't have that in your budget because you're down to 40 cents now. If your budget is $2 per click, after 2 clicks, you're almost done with your whole budget. This is why a lot of people say, well, I'm running an ad, but I'm not making any money. I'm actually spending more money than I'm making. That's the reason why, because their cost per click is so high that after a couple of clicks, they're done. So the ads are getting shown to people. And if somebody clicks on it and they don't buy, they don't make any return on it, obviously. But that's what's happening. So you definitely want to work on that. Work on making sure that your keywords, one, are not too broad, not too competitive, and they accurately describe what you sell. And once you come up with those 10 to 15 keywords, what you want to do is come up here and use Keyword Explorer, and you want to type in each keyword individually, and you want to do keyword research, and you want to find out the data. You want to see, okay, does this keyword have at least 500 search volume with the least competition of 30,000 or less? Another thing to keep in mind is because of the pandemic, these numbers are skewed. I know for me, some of my tags that normally have like 600 monthly search volume or 2,000 monthly search volume are low as 200 now. It's crazy. It dropped drastically. So what you want to do also is make an educated guess. If you are in a niche right now that doesn't seem like a lot of people are buying, like me, for weddings and parties, it's not happening. Like normally this is my peak season. This is my peak month basically. In July is the month that I make over $10,000. Last year in July I made $13,000 in one store because that was my peak month, right? That's the month that for some reason I get the most sales on weddings. But if you're selling something right now that's not in the peak right now because of everything that's going on, especially because of everything going on, you have to make an informative decision and say, okay, this keyword actually describes what I sell. It doesn't have a lot of competition. Right now, the average search volume is low, but let me still use it because in a couple months from now, when things start to slowly get better, maybe this will be a good keyword. That's what you ultimately will need to do, is make an informed decision and say, okay, I can't find keywords that have a certain amount of monthly searches, but these keywords do have less than 30,000 competition, and they seem pretty good keywords that describes accurately what I sell. So I'm going to use these keywords for now. And that's what you want to do. And once you have those new keywords, you're going to go back to your store, and the keyword that has the highest monthly search volume with the least competition, that's going to be your focus keyword. That's the keyword that you're going to use in your beginning of your title and also in your meta description. The additional keywords you're going to add in your listing description throughout your listing description. Let's look at I just want to see your attributes. That's good. Your attributes are good actually. And bookmarks are good. Good. Attributes are a little tricky. They act like a tag. So if you have the word grief and mourning here, you should not have the word grief and mourning down here. Keep that in mind. So if don't ever repeat the attribute and the tag because you're missing out on opportunity to have a different tag. So just keep that in mind. Because they do act like tags and they also could hurt you. If you use the wrong attribute and you're showing up in the search feed for a specific tag, but no one's buying from you and people are overlooking your listing because you tagged it incorrectly, then the algorithm takes notice of that and says, okay, well, this listing doesn't really match with what they're saying it does. No one's buying. Let's bury it in the search results. So you lose your listing quality score. This is something that Etsy gives you. Every listing that we publish has a listing quality score. And when you upload a new listing, it has a 0. And based on how people buy, interact with your listing, that's how you become either a bestseller or you get buried in the search results. That's how they pick the listing. Is based on the interaction of how people are interacting with it. So you definitely want to make sure that you use the right attributes and the right categories when you're listing your listings. And let's go back to your store. I'm just going to do a quick overview of your store. I like, your message up here. It goes with what you sell. The logo doesn't look the best. It looks like it's a little grainy or, it's not as clear as it could be. So you definitely want to redo the logo. Make sure that it doesn't look distorted a little bit, I guess if that's the right word. But you see how when I zoom in, it doesn't look clear? You don't want that. You want to make sure it looks a little bit nicer. But I love the message behind it. And it's cohesive to what you sell, like your kind of style. You see how you have these styles? It does go with it. So that's a nice thing about it. I would invest in buying a logo. Having a logo for your business is really important. So sooner or later, I will invest in it. Let's see if you have a logo on Facebook or what are you using on Facebook. So you see how you have your picture here, but you have a logo here, or you using this as a logo. You want to make sure that your picture is cohesive across all platforms. You want your Instagram to look the same as your Twitter or your Instagram and your Facebook, whatever you're using. You want it to have the same background. You want it to have the same banner. You want it to have the same picture here. It helps you with branding. That's how people remember you. If you look at my banner, it has the same picture here as it does on my Etsy store, as it does on my Facebook page, as it does on my Instagram. It has the same profile picture as well. You want to have it cohesive all across. That helps you build a cohesiveness across all channels. And you need that for branding. Now, that's how people start recognizing you. If you have different random pictures of yourself and different backgrounds and different banners and different logos and different profile pictures, people won't make the connection. So branding is really important. That's how you separate yourself from everyone else that doesn't know how to do branding, right? That's how Starbucks separate themselves from every other coffee shop. That's how Pottery Barn, right, separates themselves from every other store, a chain out there that sells home and other things for the home, right? So you want to make sure that one, you have a logo. You want to make sure that you have a professional banner that has maybe your hours of operation, your social media handles. It has like whatever offer you're giving. Maybe you sign up for the Etsy Plus, so you could have that retractable banner. One shows like your main banner, the other one shows new listings, the other one shows things on sale. It just, how can you separate yourself from everybody else, what everyone else is doing? How can you build a brand, right? When you have a brand, you could charge premium prices. That's why Starbucks, a frappuccino could cost you like $9, $10, is because of the brand. You're paying for the brand. If you buy a frappuccino from a corner store and it's a little, coffee store, you wouldn't pay $9 there. You got to think about it that way. So if I saw this picture here, this one here, this one here, and that one here, I would think it's from 4 different stores. I wouldn't necessarily think it's from the same store. So having images that are cohesive, and trust me, I'm still working on my brand. I'm constantly changing it. If you follow me in other platforms, you'll see like, wow, she changed the banner again, or she changed the thumbnail again, or she changed that again, or now she got new colors. That's me testing out different things until I get better, better, and better, or until I hire a company that I'm actually probably going to be hiring in the next few months to do my whole branding all together, to be quite honest, because it's been a challenge for me personally, because it's something that is not my skill, right? It's not my forte. So I'm trying it, but I'm having difficulties with it as well. So, but if you start either one, doing it yourself or hiring somebody to do it for you, that might be the best route as well. But making sure that you have your branding in place, that's what's going to really separate you from everyone else. That's how you stand out in a saturated market. That's how you start getting recognized by other people, by other brands, by big companies that want to feature you. But you have to work on that. Making sure that the takeaways of this video is optimizing your listing for SEO, making sure that you craft a listing description that accurately describes everything that they need to know that they're going to get, so they could feel informed to buy from you. Making sure your branding, you have a logo, you have a clear banner, that all your images are cohesive with one another. You don't deviate from those colors. And then you also put that in your outside of Etsy. So your website looks similar to your Etsy shop. Your Facebook looks similar to your Etsy shop. Your Instagram feed looks very similar to your Etsy shop. You want to cohesively across all your platforms, Pinterest, etc. But it takes time. It's not going to happen overnight, right? And you're going to make a lot of mistakes like I have, and I'm still making. So don't feel bad. You're off to a great start. You just have to kind of work on all of these things collectively together, and it will help you build an amazing brand and grow. And ultimately, the ultimate goal is to have more money, right? To get more sales, to make an impact. You're making an impact through your work because your work is beautiful, and you're trying to, be positive, which is amazing. Now you need to kind of work on your business side of it in the sense of branding, SEO, how to get out there, how to use different platforms. And it just starts with the little things. SEO, fixing SEO. 2, fixing your photos. 3, making sure that all your social media platforms look the same profile picture or logo if you're using one, the same banner all across. Just little things like that is the first start. Don't overthink it. So I hope you enjoyed this critique, guys. Make sure that you leave any critique for Julie below the video. And thank you guys for watching.